The following program is sponsored. The opinions and statements made by the hosts and guests do not necessarily reflect the views of WBOB or its parent company, the Chesapeake Portsmouth Broadcasting Corporation.
It's time for Real Estate Radio with Angela and Howard. Angela and Howard talk about what's new in real estate and answer your buying and selling questions. To participate in today's show, call 222-TALK. That's 222-8255. And now, here are Angela and Howard.
Good morning, Northeast Florida. This is such a beautiful day. We have had like rain every day this week. It's been annoying, but I've done real estate every day in the rain.
So is it going to rain today?
I don't know. Wasn't paying attention.
But it is gorgeous right now, isn't it? That blue sky as I was driving in.
I know. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
So pretty.
You were in a blue car. I was in a black car. But it was blue sky all the way in. Smooth sailing. How about that? Mm-hmm. Beautiful day. You know what else today is, or this weekend is? It's Father's Day.
Oh, I have to give a shout out to my dad because you know he's listening. He's like my number one fan. He's always listening.
You know, so
happy Father's Day to Fred Wolverton.
Okay, good morning, Fred, and happy Father's Day to you. So as my tradition has been going for the last few years for Mother's Day and Father's Day, I want to take a moment before we talk about real estate to make us think for a moment about what Mother's Day and Father's Day should mean. It's not just a day to pick up the phone and say, Happy Father's Day, and give him a card or just go out to dinner. It's a time to make it special for that someone special that raised you up. And I want to make it special for you and for him. So, and how you do that is to think about a past time in your life that was really special. So, if you're a female, was it the time that long ago when he took you to the father and daughter dance? Was it the time that he walked you down the aisle to get married and whispered something in your ear? Was it your graduation from high school and college when he said something special to you? Or was it perhaps a sad time when he made you feel a lot better? Was it a time that you made a phone call to him and said you were getting divorced, and he said some kind words to you and said life is going to get better? Whatever time it was, now that's for a female. For a young man, was it the time when he took you on your first fishing trip or camping trip? Again, was it the time about graduation? Was it the time when your girlfriend first broke up with you and he told you that it's going to get better and you're going to have more girlfriends? Or was it the time when you got in trouble when you were in high school and he gave you a lecture, but he said, it's okay because life is going to be better? Whatever it was, think about a time in your life when you and your dad did something special or he made your life better. And tell him about that. It'll make you feel better and it'll make your dad feel better. And if your dad is no longer with you, that's okay. Just think about a time where you and your dad had that special moment and share that with him. And share it and if you're a dad and your daughter or son calls you, you can share a moment with your son or daughter and make that special for them as well. So as a tribute to all dads out there and sons and daughters out there, take that 5 or 10 minutes and have that discussion. And I guarantee you it'll bring you closer to your dad or to your sons and daughters. So take that time to do that and make it an extra special day. So that's my tribute to dads out there.
All right.
All right. So welcome to Real Estate Radio, where you're problem-solving realtors. We got all kinds of fun things to do out there. We had an interesting day, dodging week, dodging the raindrops. We had 3 closings, including a mail-away. I don't think we've ever talked about a mail-away closing. So, Angela, tell everyone what a mail-away closing is.
They mail it away.
Okay, I'm going to smack you. No, I'm not. It's where one of the either the buyer or the seller has lives out of town.
Yes.
And they can't attend the closing.
Yes.
So all of the paperwork is sent away to wherever they are, and they sign all the papers, usually in front of a notary, and then it gets mailed back to the title company here. So you don't have to attend the closing.
I tell you, I have to give a plug to Watson Title Services, who supports our radio show and who, we use consistently, and they are so wonderful. And, they even accommodate our customers when they're having trouble just taking off work to come in to do a closing. We had one last week or the week before where the people just couldn't get off work, and because they're busy, their businesses were too busy. And they sent a notary to their home at like 5:30 in the afternoon.
I was at that one. That's right.
Yeah. And, I tell you what, when you're working with a company like Watson Title Services, who really understands life's hectic pace and really does everything they can to accommodate, whether it's a mail away customer and they're finding a notary, in Maryland to sign, or they're sending out a notary here locally, to get it done. They do whatever it takes to get the job done. They're awesome to work with.
That was an interesting case because the people were packing up and moving the next day. The movers were coming on Saturday, and they hadn't finished packing. So they requested that the pre-signing, they were signing a day ahead of time. The closing was on Monday, but they needed to get out of the house early. So we went over to their home and sat at their dining room table and did all the signing on Friday afternoon. So that worked out really well for them. There was another interesting part of that closing that I have to share with everyone. So the second half of the closing was on this past Monday. And, of course, the buyers were there, husband and wife, and their realtor, and the wife was there, and she was very, very pregnant with their third child, and they had just gone to the house. You always go to the house right before closing to make sure that everything is fine, and the sellers had left the house pristine, which was very, very nice. That's what's supposed to happen. And she had just this huge smile on her face, and she said, "Oh, the house is beautiful. I hadn't seen it before." And I looked at her and said, "What?" Well, her husband had picked out the house. She had not seen it.
That's really unusual.
It's really
very,
unusual.
Very, very. Women pick the houses.
Well, he had seen it. They had known what they wanted, and for some reason, she had not been able to see it either for the initial purchase or the home inspection. I just can't believe that. But it was a perfect house for them because they wanted a big backyard for their other two boys.
This one had a big backyard.
And it was fenced in. It was a half-acre property.
Yeah.
And it was in the area that they wanted to buy and the type of house they wanted, a brick house, had a circular driveway. And interestingly enough, the house was for sale with another realtor, and it didn't sell. And we kind of specialize in helping folks whose house had been on the market and had not sold. We went over there and told them what they needed to do to get it sold. And, of course, they did what we asked them to do, and then it sold relatively quickly. But she had never seen it. But when she went over there on that first time, which was the same day as closing, she was just as happy as can be and just was glowing at the closing table, just absolutely glowing. That's what we love to see, whether we have the buyer or the seller. She was just glowing. Hey, we've got so many things to talk about today. We've got regrets about buying. Do you have any regrets? We're going to talk about those, and we're going to grade ourselves in how we do as realtors in minimizing the regrets. We've got HGTV isn't always right. We're going to talk about that. How about reasons your house isn't selling? We've got a scam. We've got a contest. We got so many things to talk about here on Real Estate Radio. And we're going to answer your questions. You can call us at 222-8255, and we will be right back. Hey, WBOB listeners, it's your realtor on the radio, Howard Vergalis of Watson Realty Corp. Angela and I don't just do the radio show, we are active realtors. When it's time to buy, we will interview you to determine your specific housing needs. Distance to work, style of home, school needs, distance to place of worship, kids' activities, lifestyles, number of bedrooms, budget, and so much more. In short, we do our very best to find you your perfect home. We won't waste your time showing you houses that don't fit your needs. Whether you're moving up, moving into your first home, or now an empty nester, you can trust us for the most important purchase of your life. It's what we do. It's what we'll do for you. Experience the Angela and Howard Team Advantage. Call us at 421-7950.
Is there something going wrong with your garage door or opener? My name is Peter, and I am the owner of Quality Door Service. And my basic garage door repair starts at just $125, and that includes parts. Included with your repair, I will instruct you about fire and safety, protection from hurricane and burglary, and maintenance on your garage door. Call me today at 588-4817. That's 588-4817. Angela and Howard did.
There's finally a mortgage lender in Jacksonville that sees financing differently. With 20 years' experience, CMG Financial understands that the most important purchase in your life, your home, deserves the right mortgage. Tim McConnell at CMG Financial will work to customize the best financing option for you. Angela and I recommend CMG Financial to all our customers. Give Tim a call at 528-2103. That's 528-2103. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage, Inc., NMLS number 1820, and licensed as a mortgage lender servicer by the Office of Financial Regulation, number MLD 375, individual MLS number 181046.
Are you buying a property being sold by HUD? As a buyer, you can select Watson Title Services of North Florida as your settlement agent. Avoid having to deal with out-of-town companies and make sure you get the world-class customer service of Watson Title Services that Angela and Howard have come to expect. Call them at 461-3220 when you're looking at buying a HUD property to ensure your purchase goes through as smoothly as possible. That's 461-3220. Angela and Howard do. This segment of Real Estate Radio with Angela and Howard is brought to you by CMG Financial. For answers to your North Florida real estate questions, call into the show at 222-TALK. That's 222-8255.
Welcome back, everybody. So excited to be here on this beautiful Saturday.
It
is beautiful. I just want to get out of here and go play in the sun. Oh, wait. No, I can't do that.
You're going to a baby shower today.
I am.
It's not yours, is it?
No.
No baby shower for you. Okay.
No.
Hey, we have a contest, but it's interesting that the contest is a repeat of last week. Because, we did not have a winner, and I forgot to tell everybody what the answer to the contest was. So we're going to repeat it. But
we have
before
a caller first.
We have a caller. Good morning, Chris.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
I'm doing well, thanks.
So you have a question for us today?
I do, in regards to wood-destroying organisms inspectors and inspection.
Yes.
Okay.
So I purchased a house, and part of the terms of closing were everything that was wood-destroying organism was supposed to be repaired. Well, when I went to go get the house painted, my painter spotted a whole bunch of things on the second floor. It's a two-story all-wood home. He spotted things on the second floor, exterior that had wood rot. And he said he gave me a price to paint the house and to repair the wood rot. And I'm like, wait a minute. That was parts of our terms of closing. So I went back to the terms of closing, verified it. I went to the WDO inspection, and it said he could only inspect up to 6 feet high on a wooden two-story house. So I had another inspector come, and even things that were below 6 feet, my inspector found that were decaying and problems that should have been caught by the first inspector. So I complained to the state of Florida, the Department of Agriculture. And now I'm wondering, what recourse do I have on this first inspector for not really, doing a thorough job?
Well, this is kind of multifaceted response. I'll try to do the best that I can. So one of the things that I think all buyers and sellers should be aware of is that there are many inspectors, whether they're a home inspector or a WDO inspector, that won't get on a ladder because of the type of insurance that they carry, their workman's comp. They don't get on a ladder. So that's like a question that probably should be asked somewhere in the process. As far as one of the things I was thinking as you were presenting your story was how much time elapsed from the time you purchased the house until you had the painter come?
About 4 months.
Okay. So 4 months in and of itself is actually enough time for wood decay to happen again. Okay? It can. It doesn't mean it did, but it can. It could have still been missed. I'm not saying that, but it's also time that it could be created on its own. So when you think of an inspection, all of the inspectors will tell you, and again, whether it's a home inspection or a WDO inspection, that it's a snapshot in time. They can only see what they can see that day, given whatever conditions they had. So like that one didn't go up on a ladder, so they're not going to see the things higher up. Those were probably always there. But the ones that they missed on the lower level were probably not visible yet or not rotten all the way yet. You know, when you said your painter found some other ones on the lower level, they probably worsened. Right. Yeah. So, in terms of recourse, I mean, you can certainly go back to the first inspector because you hired him. Did you pay for that inspection or did the seller pay for it?
Actually, I paid for the inspection. However, my bank hired him. My bank found him and hired him. I didn't have a choice. And then after I read the inspection, the day of closing, I looked at the inspection. I said, "What? You couldn't access the attic, for example," he said. And I said, "That's a walk-in attic. It's like a whole other room upstairs." And then I looked at it and it said couldn't achieve anything over 6 feet. So I brought that up at closing. And I wrote the check to him it was a nominal fee. It was like $150. It wasn't a whole lot of money.
Right.
Yeah, that's typically what a WDO inspection is. Let's clarify something. Any home inspector, whether it's a WDO or not, they cannot take the time. It would take them hours and hours or days to cover every square inch of the exterior and the attic. What they do a WDO inspection, it's partially a visual inspection, and partially they use a probe, which is like a screwdriver, and they touch the edge of the wood. They push on it. Now, they can push on it every 6 inches, or they could push on it every inch or every half inch. And can you imagine if they had to push every half inch of the entire exterior of the home? It's just not feasible for them to do that. So what they do is every few inches. So otherwise, it would take them... Or if they see a
discolored place, though.
Yeah. Otherwise, it would take them days to push on every, quarter inch or half inch of the home, and your $150 inspection would cost you $1,000. So, could they have missed a spot? Yes, they could. Now, if it was flagrant, if it was a 6-inch very visible piece that they missed, that might be grounds for a lawsuit. Now, by the way, we're not attorneys, and we don't play one on the radio here. But it sounds like your painter was obviously up on a ladder and found a piece because he was up close and personal to it.
I'm still confused why the bank ordered the WDO. Why did that happen?
As far as I know, the bank I deal with on all wood structured homes, they order a WRDO.
Well,
it's the way it was presented to me.
It is required that when you get a mortgage, that a WDO inspection is generally required.
But usually they don't pick the company who's doing it.
Yeah, usually you pick the company or
your realtor might pick.
May have done
Did you have a realtor involved in your case?
I did have a realtor, but I believe the bank did they picked the appraiser and they picked the the inspector for the wood damage.
They do pick the appraiser. That is normal.
Yeah, that's actually done through a third party. That's to kind of keep mortgage fraud at bay. But they don't normally pick the WDO. So that's a little bit interesting to me.
But no, I was never given a choice by my realtor or by my bank to pick the appraiser or the wood inspector. But I could pick my home inspector.
Okay.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yes. And you should be able to pick, you should be able to pick your wood inspector as well as the home inspector, because those are people operating on your behalf and you're going to pay for them. And so you're supposed to be able to shop for those services, to compare the services, to see what services they offer and at what price. And then, it's sort of a, you get as much as you pay for, right? So,
because if I had known up front that the man could only go up 6 feet on an all-wood home, 2-story all-wood home, I would have reconsidered and asked more questions if I would have known up front. The day of closing is not when you should find this stuff out, because now you have what happens if I renege on my closing deal. It puts you in a very bad situation. You're sitting at the closing table reading documents, and you notice this kind of just put in there, just poof. Wood inspections could only go 6 feet high. I forgot how it was worded, but it was pretty much that's what it said. Due to liability reasons or whatever, he could only go 6 feet high.
Yeah, he should. You should have found one that goes higher. I will tell you that in most cases, the wood rot is closer to the ground. And the reason for that is that particularly very close to the ground, because as it rains or wood or water comes off of the roof and bounces off of the ground, water gets sucked up into the bottom of the wood siding. Wood siding is normally what's called T111. It rots right at the bottom, and that's where most of the wood rot occurs. Not always, but that's where most of it occurs.
Right.
So I'm sorry that's happened to you.
Yeah. So is now doing a little research on my own, I found that the wood rot inspectors are supposed to carry insurance.
Yes.
Yes.
Up to $300,000, I believe.
Yes.
How would I go about finding out who the insurance is and placing a claim? Everyone wants to get lawyers involved and things like that. But if the man has insurance, why not just go to the insurance company and say, hey, and do it that way?
Well, you don't go to the insurance company. You start a lawsuit against the home inspector, and then he goes to his insurance company. But, depending on the value of the damage, I would suggest that you contact an attorney, and he can give you advice on what to pursue, on how to pursue.
I spoke to an attorney, and he said, yes, the damage is about $15,000 of wood rot that you have.
Oh, my goodness.
He appraised the second appraisal said it hurt my value of the home by about $25,000 to $22,000. And the attorney explained to me it's because a homeowner doesn't want to deal with contractors and stuff like that. Therefore, it's the value of the home is worth more if the work's already done, is the way it was presented to me. But he said it's going to cost me anywhere between $8,000 and $11,000 to sue this guy. So, it's kind of like I don't want this guy to get away and still conduct business. However, it's financially, it's like just let him go and move on.
Well, that's a decision that you're going to have to make between you and your attorney. $15,000 sounds like a whole lot of additional damage.
He might have errors and omissions insurance that he might file a claim himself. So maybe talking to him is the first place to start.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe go direct to him and say he missed it. I don't know.
Thank you.
All right. Chris, I'm sorry for all the trouble that you're having, and if we can help you in any way, then give us a call, 421-7950, if you have any other questions. All right. Well, interesting question. Sorry for all the damage that Chris is having. We'll be back in a few minutes after the break. If you have any questions, give us a call at 222-8255, and we will be right back. Stay with us, everybody.
Ed Dean, Mike Gallagher, Dennis Prager, The Savage Nation, Mark Levin, Laura Ingram, WBOB, AM 600 and FM 101.1. The Answer.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. The search continues for 7 U.S. Navy sailors who have not been seen since their destroyer collided with a merchant vessel not far from Japan in the early hours of the morning. The Navy says the Japanese Coast Guard is now leading the search for those who are missing. On video provided by the local broadcaster in Japan, NHK TV, one sailor was seen being lifted into a helicopter to be treated. President Donald Trump's new Cuba policy is landing with a few different responses, depending on which side of the political aisle you are on. Some within his own party are applauding the move as taking a harder stance, against the Cuban regime. Meanwhile, some are saying it's also limiting possible economic opportunity. On Wall Street, the Dow Jones Industrial Average yesterday gained 24 points and opens at 21,384 on Monday. This is SRN News.
We moved to Phillips Highway across from the Regal Theater. Hi, I'm Jeff Martin from Martin Appliance and More with more great news. I've added construction services to Martin Appliance with my new company, Greystone Kitchens, on Phillips Highway. You've trusted me for GE, Frigidaire, and Speed Queen appliances. Now, as a licensed contractor, cut me loose in your kitchen. Cabinets falling apart, colors from the dark ages? Time to upgrade with the best cabinet deals in the history of the United States of America. We moved Martin Appliance and Greystone Kitchens to 9456 Phillips Highway, half-mile north of the Avenues Mall, right across from the movie theater. Visit our brand new kitchen gallery for appliances, cabinets, and decorating perfection. Click on GreysstoneKitchens.com. See just how quick and easy I can remodel a kitchen. Add a pantry, remove a wall, I can do it all. I'm a licensed contractor, for crying out loud.
What you see is what you get. Martin Appliance Family.
Martin Appliance and Greystone Kitchens on Phillips Highway across from Regal Theater. Honest and able.
State license number CRC 1330991.
Make excellent happen. Only at New Balance can you get athletic footwear apparel and accessories with highly trained New Balance fit specialists to make sure everything is exactly right. If you're having a hard time finding comfortable shoes or have a hard-to-fit size, your answer is at the New Balance store. New Balance in Orange Park and Beach Boulevard features full-service sit and fit locations. Both New Balance stores have a full stock of running, walking, baseball, cross-training, and tennis shoes. You'll find sizes 5 to 18, widths AA, B, D, EE, 4E, 6E, plus orthotic arch supports. New Balance state-of-the-art computerized foot scanner gets the right fit every time. Make excellent happen at either New Balance store, 195 Beach Boulevard, open Monday through Saturday, 10 till 6. Call 620-0483 or 1871 Wells Road across from the Orange Park Mall. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 till 8. Call 592-7892. New Balance, athletic footwear and apparel for all ages.
Predictions of Donald Trump's demise are increasingly premature. I mean, here we go again with the belief that if he does something, that will immediately be impeachment. Well, they've been calling impeachment since November the 9th. About the day after the election, they started crying about impeaching him. They're trying to stop him, and they're trying to stop his agenda.
Mike Gallagher, weekday mornings at 9 on WBOB. The Answer. Stuck in traffic? WBOB has The Answer.
And there's a crash at 295 North at the ramp to Commonwealth Avenue. Also in St. Johns County, crash at 95 South at mile marker 301. Going to be mostly sunny today. About a 30% chance of rain through the weekend. High 87. Partly cloudy tonight and tomorrow night with lows about 75 degrees. It's currently 78 right here at WBOB. AM 600, The Answer.
Let's return to Real Estate Radio with Angela and Howard. For answers to your North Florida real estate questions, call into the show at 222-TALK. That's 222-8255.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for staying with us during the station break. We appreciate it. We're so excited to be here today at Real Estate Radio on this gorgeous Saturday. And we appreciate Chris calling in, and we hope we gave him a little bit of advice.
On this Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day. So much to be grateful for, happy for. Celebrate your dad. Give him a hug.
That's right.
If you are a dad, celebrate your kids. Give
I
them
know
a hug.
a couple of the things that you were thinking of about both of your dads. Your real dad passed away when you were very young, and I know a couple of things that you were thinking of. Want me to tell everybody?
If you want.
Okay.
I'm interested to hear.
Well, a couple of things were, because you had told me over the past few years that you enjoyed the long talks that you had with your dad, and
hours and hours and hours and hours.
Going to the donut shop every weekend and going fishing with your dad.
Yeah.
And then when your mom remarried, after your dad died, him taking you and teaching you how to shoot a gun.
Load ammunition.
And that was your school project one year, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. I went to Regency Baptist, which doesn't exist anymore. But imagine being at a Baptist school. My science project was how to load ammunition. They were kind of looking at me like, what? Why is this girl trying to load ammunition here? I don't even know what to say.
And some of my favorite times with my dad, and I have so many good memories with my dad, were just going fishing and going camping, and still I have great talks with him on the phone. He lives in Virginia, but I talk to him about 3 times a week, and they're very short talks because he doesn't have much to say. But he's 91 years old, still going great, and we just have nice talks about what's going on in his life and about all the things that he is doing with all of the younger people, because there aren't many people that are 91 anymore.
True.
But he still gives me great advice. So I'm enjoying talking to him and hearing about the stuff that's going on in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Going out every Saturday morning and meetings on Monday and Wednesday. But anyway, here we are on Real Estate Radio. We want to talk about the biggest regrets that people have about buying their home. And there aren't that many regrets, but there are some. About half of buyers have some regret about buying their home. Just some regrets. So Angela and I would like to think about think that our customers have much less regret than the average buyer, because we sit down with them and talk about really what they want in a home, and, the size and location and all of that kind of stuff. So here's what we're going to do as we go through these things. We're going to grade ourselves. And perhaps some of our buyers in the past are listening to the show, and they can grade us as well, see if these things come up. So as we go through the list of regrets, we want our listeners also to think back to your own experience for your last purchase. So number 1, you spent too much money. Think about that. You know that just because your lender approved you for a certain amount, let's say $400,000, that doesn't mean that you have to spend that much. Angela and I want to make sure that you are comfortable with the amount that you are spending. We know that some realtors say, okay, you're approved for $400,000. Let's go look for a $400,000 home. No. That's not what we should do. We want to know how much you are comfortable with spending. And if you're only comfortable with spending $350 because your monthly payments are X, let's find you a house that the monthly payments are X. And it's not just how much your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance are. You have to also add in your condo fee, not your condo fees, your homeowners insurance association fees are. So since we do that, we don't necessarily go to the highest amount that you're approved for. We want to know how much you're comfortable with. I think we should give ourselves a grade of A on this one. What do you think? Would you give us an A on this one?
Yeah.
Angela?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I never encourage anyone to spend as much as they can afford, because then they become house poor. You know
That's
what
right.
I mean by that? House poor,
Oh,
where it's
I
like,
absolutely know that.
I can't afford to do anything else. My house payment's so high.
Yeah.
I can't go to the movies. We can't go out to dinner. We can't take a weekend trip.
That's a terrible thing to happen.
It is a terrible thing.
Okay, number 2, they bought the wrong house. When you buy the wrong shirt, you can take it back to the store for a refund, but not so with a house.
True.
About 5% of buyers said that they bought the wrong house. Now, to avoid this mistake, always remember, do an inspection, consider the neighborhood, consider the commute to work, not only your current needs, but also your longer-term needs. Now, our team we always sit down with you and we go over all of these things so that this never happens. We even tell you if we don't think you should buy that house. Now, some of you, you're going to buy it anyway. And we told the story, I think, a couple of weeks ago about the couple that bought the house with a big set of windows in the back, and the sun was going to come in and burn them up. And we said, do not buy this house because of that. And they said, no. They love the sun coming in. Well, they realized, oh my gosh, that set of floor-to-ceiling windows behind the whole half of the house, the whole rear of the house, it cooked them. And they did regret buying that house. But we warned them. Actually, it was you that warned them. Anyway, how do we grade ourselves on this one, Angela?
With an A.
A? Okay.
Absolutely.
I gave ourselves an A- just because of that one house. They bought that house anyway.
I can't control what people do. As long as I advise them properly, I still get the A.
Okay.
It's their fault they bought it.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, A's good. You know what? Okay, next one. They bought the house with the wrong features.
Yes.
Okay, they wanted a big yard, but now hate the work to maintain it, or wanted a pool, but now they don't want the work or cost of chemicals. Or perhaps now they want a pool, and they wish they had purchased a home with one already instead of spending all the big money to put one in. You know, about 7% of you said that you would have made that change. Of course, sometimes desires change over time.
Yes.
Again, you and I always talk ahead of time about the features that are a must-have versus nice-to-have in your new home. So the question I want to ask everybody is, did your realtor do that with you ahead of time?
You know what? I had a personal experience before I became a realtor.
Tell us.
I had to downsize. I had a very big house, and I decided to stop working. I used to work at Blue Cross Blue Shield, and
many years ago.
Many years ago.
You've been a realtor 20 years, right?
Yeah. And
you're just a baby then.
I am a baby. Yeah. No. Anyway, so the realtor that I had, she was wonderful, and she took me to this amazing neighborhood, which I fell in love with. But the features of the house, it had a 3-bedroom house. Well, I had 3 children, so having a 3-bedroom house doesn't make sense. But my 3 kids at that point were under 6. 2 of the kids could share a room. The room was super huge. Made sense for a while.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like it's 2 girls sharing a room.
We would only be there about 3 to 5 years, but it turns out we loved it there, and we didn't want to move. So we had a cul-de-sac, we had a half acre, we had a brick home, lovely neighbors. We didn't want to move. So my kids grew and grew and grew and got bigger and bigger, and here I have all these teenagers in a 3-bedroom house. And I wasn't willing to move.
What'd you do?
I converted the dining room into a bedroom. That's how I solved it, because 2 girls cannot stay, not when they're teenagers. No, cannot share a room.
Unless they're twins. Then they can do it.
Yeah, but they were not. So they were just, it was tough. And, but anyway, I often thought, why did that realtor let me buy that house? She should have told me, your kids are little, and when they grow up to be bigger, this is not going to work out. At least gave me a warning.
So she didn't get an A on that one. But we give ourselves an A on this one. That brings us to the next one, which is they bought a house too small. 13% of you wished you had bought a bigger house, usually with an additional room. That's why we asked you to consider if the house is good, not only for today, but for the next 5 years at least.
Yeah.
Right?
Like
they
the example
didn't do
I just
it.
gave.
And that was a good lesson for you, because now you as a realtor always ask.
Always. Yeah.
Are you going to have any more kids? So if you're buying a 3-bedroom home and have 3 kids.
And more on the way.
And more on the way, you need to buy a 4-bedroom home. We give ourselves an A on this one. Did your realtor do that? Hey. If you're considering buying a house,
call the A-team.
Call the A-team. We give ourselves an A on all of these. Hey, stay with us, everybody. We got more coming up. We want to answer your questions. Call. Or by the way, if you want personal advice, call us after the show, 421-7950, or if you have questions on the show, 222-8255. Good morning, WBOB listeners. It's your realtor on the radio, Howard Vergalis of Watson Realty Corp. Angela and I want to thank you for tuning in with us for our 5th year now. It's been such a great pleasure to be on the radio with you, giving you advice on buying and selling, as well as answering your questions on the air. Thank you so much for the trust that you have in us as professional, experienced realtors with over 20 years of combined experience. We want you to know that when it's time to sell your home, we want to be your realtor. We will focus on your home, your family, and your time frame. Our team will customize a marketing plan to give you the best exposure to get you the best price and have the best selling experience possible. Whether it's a condo or a house, a short sale or a regular sale, a $200,000 home or a mansion, you will get the same great service. Call us at 421-7950 and join the multitudes of others that have experienced the Angela and Howard team advantage. There's finally a mortgage lender in Jacksonville that sees financing differently. With 20 years experience, CMG Financial understands that the most important purchase in your life, your home, deserves the right mortgage. Tim McConnell at CMG Financial will work to customize the best financing option for you. Angela and I recommend CMG Financial to all our customers. Give Tim a call at 528-2103. That's 528-2103. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage, Inc., NMLS number 1820, and licensed as a mortgage lender servicer by the Office of Financial Regulation, number MLD 375, individual MLS number 181046. One of the most critical parts of buying or selling your home is the very last process. That's the closing process. Angela and I recommend Watson Title Services. They have the experience to handle any issue that can come up, and there is never an upfront fee to the seller. Whether you are using a realtor with the sale of your home or not, always ask for Watson Title Service to handle your closing. We do. Call them at 461-3220. That's Watson Title Services.
Angela Walker and Howard Vergalis of Watson Realty Corp. not only come to you every Saturday morning, but they would also like to work with you when you need them the most. That is, when you need to buy or sell a home. They pride themselves in giving you their very best effort every day and in every way. There are many realtors in the First Coast to choose from. Let them show you the Howard and Angela team advantage. Call them at 421-7950 or email them at realestateradio@yahoo.com. This segment of Real Estate Radio with Angela and Howard is brought to you by Watson Title Services of Northeast Florida. For answers to your North Florida real estate questions, call into the show at 222-TALK. That's 222-8255.
Welcome back, everyone. So excited. This is the last segment of our show.
Oh, my gosh, it can't be.
I know,
Say
I can't believe it either.
So.
And we've had so much fun today and had a great question from Chris, and we've just had a good time, and we weren't quite done with the things.
Yeah, I want to
regret.
talk about two more things that I think are probably the most important things. And so I want to go back and talk about them. And these are things that buyers regret. And
then we'll talk about our open houses after that, because we have open houses this weekend.
On Father's Day, yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, Dad should buy a house.
Yeah, dads need to buy houses for their families.
But anyway, regret, should have waited longer to buy. Now, this is an interesting one.
Why would people feel that way?
I don't know. Now, here's an interesting thing. This is an interesting one because 10% of millennials, 6% of Generation Xers, and only 1% of baby boomers thought that they bought too soon. And
sounds like the smartest group's the baby boomers. Just saying.
You're a baby boomer?
Yep.
Okay. I guess I'm a baby boomer. Okay. So, all right. Now, some of them just wanted to save more money for a down payment. Now, the way we look at this, if you're renting, you're still paying for a mortgage. Your landlords. Stop doing this as soon as possible and pay for your own mortgage. Rents are going up. Home prices are rising. Your mortgage payments, however, will not go up next year, but your rent and the price of a home probably will. And the interest rate is expected to go up as well. Why wait We are here to help you. Call us after the show at 421-7950. We absolutely positively grade ourselves A on this one because we always promote home ownership and we practice what we preach, not only for ourselves, but not only to everyone else, but for ourselves, because we also have investment properties. Angela, you own 2 homes, one that you live in and one as an investment. I own 5 homes, one that I live in and 4 other investment properties. So home ownership is great because by the time we retire, we're going to have lots of other income other than Social Security and our other investments.
That's the way to do it.
That's great. All right, one other thing that I want to say about regrets, and because this is an important one. This is, our show we call as infotainment. So this is educational part. So that they regret didn't save enough money for a down payment. Now, some buyers wish that they waited to buy until they had saved 20% to save on PMI, which is personal mortgage insurance. We say a big no to this one. If house prices are going up 4 to 5% a year and interest rates are also increasing, then I would personally gladly pay PMI now to get a house now. Mm-hmm. Also, some people have not purchased because they think they need 10% or 20% down payment to buy a house, and therefore they wait years and years to buy. Doesn't make sense. Stop waiting. You can actually buy a house with 5% down. You can actually buy a house with 3% down, sometimes 0% down. Also, some sellers will help you with your closing costs. And depending on the county that your income is and your income, you can actually qualify to use up to $30,000 toward the purchase price or closing costs of a home, and in many cases, you don't have to pay the money back. You did hear me right, $30,000 of money from the state of Florida and from the county. Talk to us about it. We love first-time home buyers. We give ourselves a great A on this one. Now, this is really important. $30,000 of free money to use. I had a pregnant pause there on purpose. This is money that's available from the state, and for people living in Duval County, it's a little bit less in St. Johns County and in Clay County, but you can use that to buy a home. Yes. It shows up as a mortgage on your home, but you make no payments on it and no interest on it. If you sell the home, you pay it back. But if you keep it for 10 years, you don't have to pay it back. So keep the house for 10 years, you don't have to pay it back. It's free money.
Yeah.
Use it for a bigger home. Use it to help you buy a home. Use it for down payment. Use it for your closing costs. Whatever. You can buy your first home. A lot of realtors don't want to help first-time home buyers because they're lower valued homes. We love it. The reason that we love it so much is we love people going into their first home. They are the happiest home buyers. We see people cry at the closing table because they got their first home.
Yes.
And usually, not usually, I think every time this has happened, their mortgage payment for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is less than the rent that they are paying.
Yeah, right. Yep.
All right, give us a call after the show, 421-7950. All right, where are we going next, Angela? What do you want to talk about?
Hot deal of the day.
Hot deal of the day, all right. Because we got some open houses coming up. And I am going to be at a couple, and you're going to be at one, and some of our associates are going to be at them. So, oh my gosh. Okay, we got Hedgewood Drive. This is a gated community located in the Ironwood subdivision near the town center. A little over 3,000 square feet, 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, plus an office. Now, there's a bedroom upstairs, but everything else is downstairs. And, well, it's not a bedroom upstairs.
It's not a bedroom. It's a bonus room.
It's a bonus room upstairs. 12-foot ceilings in the house, a living room, a family room, 4 sets of sliding glass doors out to the fire pit and covered lanai outside. It's open today from noon to 3 o'clock. It's 8271 Hedgewood, Hedgewood.
It's a great house, great location. You could be anywhere in 15 minutes. I love this location of this neighborhood and this house. This house is awesome, and it's concrete block construction.
And we didn't tell everybody the price. Oh, my goodness. How did I miss that? And the price is $383,875.
Yep.
Okay, next.
Okay. The next home, you know where I'm going to be tomorrow?
Where are you going to be?
I'm going to be at 2415 Daniels Landing in Fleming Island, in Eagle Harbor. It's gorgeous. It's got colonial charm, 4,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths, high ceilings, totally custom designed home. It's got a big double front door, 3-car garage, and one of the bays is 26 feet deep.
Put your boat in there.
You betcha. There's a computer nook. There's a bonus room plus a bedroom upstairs. Perfect for teenagers. In fact, you might never see them again if you let them have the whole upstairs. There's a huge front porch. It's so charming. A screened rear porch. It overlooks a private rear yard. There's the family room is extra huge with built-ins. Never run out of cabinet space in this kitchen. Oh, my goodness. There's tons and tons of cabinets. Beautiful wood staircase. And this is value priced at $499,900.
A true custom home.
Yes, and it has in the enclave community that it's in. There's a dock there, so you can rent a slip. And if you don't rent a slip, you choose not to, and you want to keep your boat in the garage. That's fine, but you can come up at lunchtime, have lunch, head back out. You can use the dock because you live in that section of Daniels Landing.
Also on the west side, a beautiful 1980s vintage brick home with a brand new roof. Well, it's a month old now. 1684 Village Way, right in Orange Park off of Kingsley, with some really special features in that the family room is huge with a vaulted ceiling, 2,300 square feet. I should say cathedral ceiling. And floor-to-ceiling stone fireplace with French doors leading to a huge sunroom with skylights and fans, and not just a hot tub, not a regular hot tub, oh no, but one built into the floor. So it's kind of like a spa that you walk out of the bedroom or the family room and just walk right down into that spa. But it even has a patio off of that in the back. And it's, the homes built in the 80s are just really, really special. It's got some beautiful large trees in the backyard. Really, really nice. It's $229,900, and the HOA fee is a whopping $75 per year, and it's voluntary. All right, we got another gated community home. It's a very small community up on the north side, Double Oaks. Oh, by the way, the one I just talked about, Village Way in Orange Park, that's going to be open tomorrow, Father's Day, from 2 to 4:30.
Yes.
So I'm going to be there then. The one on Double Oaks on the north side is 2,900 square feet. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's $265,000 off of Alta Drive.
Gated community.
Gated.
Very nice.
That's right.
Very, very
All
nice.
right. Folks, Angela and I love living here in Northeast Florida. We're doing this radio show to give back to the community. You need a professional on your side, whether you're buying or selling the most important financial transaction in your life, probably. Angela and I are here to help. Have a blessed day. We're going to be back with you next week. Happy Father's Day, everyone. If you need to talk to us, I'm going to give you Angela's and mine special cell phone number. Angela's is 465-3845. That's 465-3845. And mine is, tell them,
687-8161.
All right, 687-8161. Have a great day, everybody.